Alright, hello everybody, welcome to the Jar Games Factorio Let's Play. What are we on, episode 22 now? And we just finished off getting reds and greens plugged in. Plastic is kind of struggling a little bit, but yeah, either way, we will be working on the production hub here, where we will produce all of the goods that we need to expand the factory and then finish off and get to space. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. A little bit of design work, a little bit of tuning up a design that we already have actually, and well, let's get right into it. Okie dokie, and okie dokie smoky, I guess. So yeah, first we just gotta clean this up a little bit here, get this ready, get this area prepared. This is pretty exciting time to be a factory. Well, I'm not a factory, but you know, you get what I'm saying. No, it's not the oil block actually, it is the hub city block. So this just fits just right, just there. Wow. Okay, so we flip it vertically, it's the same thing. And I think we should, yeah, let's flip it vertically like this. Why not? Well, doesn't really matter. Spaceship is in the way? What are you talking about? Spaceship is in the way. Oh, for over there in the corner. Yeah, that's not an issue. Just shift click it down. Alright, so this is gonna be built now. And we need to just kind of go over a few things here. So first of all, this one is the long-handed inserter. This one I think should actually be the bulk inserter. Yeah, because this one uses blues to build itself. And the stack inserter we don't really need. What is this one supposed to be? This one is also, I think, blues, depending. Yeah, but then also one thing that we want to do is we're going to have to switch all these chests to storage chests and then set the filters on them, so that will also be a little bit interesting to do. Here we don't have beacons yet, but the main issue with this one is that now medium electric poles take these copper cables, and so there's actually some more circuitry. Let's see if we have a filter on this chest. Yeah, so the one good thing here is that green wire and red wire don't exist as items anymore, so we can do something about this, where yeah, we need to fix this up a little bit here. So chests are all good over here. Yeah, these are all good. There's going to be 2 more spots here for the other chests. Place that for now. But yeah, so the thing is, we want the other kinds of circuitry now that we have. And we actually need 5 deciders for each of these, so this will work good here. As long as we just jump that and put in a long-handed inserter. And then this one was supposed to be red wire, but that's no longer needed. We have constant combinators there, and we have lamps there as well, which means that this one I think is kind of open, fair game, which makes me think, well, maybe we should have the arithmetic combinator over here, and then have the sticks here, and then have the medium electric pole there. We also need to put substations at some point, and where are substations now? They're all the way over here, which actually doesn't work because they now need the copper cables as well. So that being said, I don't think I'm actually gonna build solar panels here. Yeah, I'm not gonna build any solar panels here. I'm gonna make a dedicated solar panel building area, which means maybe we can kind of bump everything down. We can bump everything down. Can we? Can we? Like, what if we bumped the whole chest part over to the very end? 'Cause there are 5 chests, we know that. And yeah, because then we could build. I think that's actually a good solution here. We can just remove this. And don't forget what we're doing. Right? So chests now go here. The steel chests, and then just remove all of these. And then we have our this can go. And don't forget, we need, just going to put these as a reminder, we need to replace those. So we'll just pull this out for now. And see what else we need. Because these are the red and green circuits. So we actually do need those. It's important. But for now, let's get the passive provider and the storage chest. Well, storage chest there just because, I don't know, it's more important. Alright, and then what were we doing here? I think we have like a belt. We don't need the light there and there, but we need a belt. How did I have it? I mean, dang. I think this was there, meaning that these should actually just be 1 over. I think that's the issue here. Right, and then we can have this just come straight down to here, and then offload, inload. Do that. And then this just needs red and green circuits, which, how did I do it in the blueprint? Okay, so I had those coming up, and then how did I even have, oh, because this is flipped, I had it feeding on both sides. Let's change it. I didn't change anything. Yeah, so I had the circuits feeding on both sides, which is maybe okay. We'll see. But just to keep this in place for later, we're going to need in, and in. And then we're going to need now our green circuits. Our circuits, all of them, are on this side, which is totally fine. And then we just need that again over here. And it doesn't need to go that far, at least for this. At least for this application. We might need it for there. We're not quite sure yet. Great. So then that should be it for now. And then if we can make a storage box here and maybe 2 here for these, and we'll just create the filters on these preemptively. This should be the way that we use them at first. And then we're going to say, so one thing I haven't covered in this just yet is how I'm actually controlling everything, which is similar to how I'm controlling the oil. And this needs to be cleaned up just a little bit. But all I'm doing is I'm taking my requests in here, and before in Factorio 1.1 you could only have this many signals in a constant combinator. That's why there's actually like multiple, like 4. But I like to combine them all into one. And then the signal comes from the constant combinators into the arithmetic combinator, and it just multiplies each by -1. And then I broadcast that signal into this green circuit network. And then all of these are basically just checking and saying, hey, if speed module is less than 0, then keep outputting into the box. And that's actually the same kind of style that I'm doing here. So, I mean, you're probably familiar with that, but I'm just doing it here. So, yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a nice way to control things, and yeah, it works. It's very simple, and it's just nice to have one central control station where you can look at all of your stock, and you can even adjust it from afar nowadays. So anyways, that being said, we should say this when this is less than 0, and then similarly when this is less than 0, and that's already filtered, but this one is not. So let's do the passive provider chest, and then yeah, there we go. So this is kind of set up. So now I think again the idea was to move everything 1 down, right? So actually we do this is interesting to say the least, because we just need a little bit more space with the, well, actually we don't. I mean, ideally I think I'd like to have this power pole be near the other power poles. Like, I think in an ideal world that's the way it should be. This doesn't use iron sticks. So, I mean, this one could go here, and we could have this here, but then I'd like to have substations there, just because. So, I think still, yeah, I think the idea is to move this down, which I wonder if we can do in like a simplified way. Not really, but if we just prepare this one, and then I guess we kind of have to just look at everything here. And this one I'm just going to move down to there, and then have that go here because we're going to need that all the way up to there. Great. So we also need lights. We should have lights here. But yeah, so a lot of this we need to just rethink it, and that's it. It's not super complicated, but it's also just a little bit time consuming. So maybe I'll speed through some of this moving action. All right, we're making some progress here. I think we got everything kind of pushed over to the right. We still have, yeah, those 3 spaces are for chests, so don't forget that. Then we've kind of cleared up some of these spaces here, and this power pole needs to move over. And these all need red. These all need wire, right? So yeah, they definitely do, except this one actually. So maybe that's a good thing to remember. Maybe we can put this one here, and then this one could go there. Okay, okie dokie smoky, and I don't know. Right, and then this doesn't need to be there either, but this could be here, maybe. And that kind of, well, there's actually a blank space here, so maybe put that there, and that kind of cozies things up all together. There's probably some people screaming in the comments to make display panels and speakers and power switches, and yeah, I get you. I think I would like those, but they're also, I just don't use them very much, so if anything, they'll be built a bit later in kind of the end game. The build everything little tiny blueprint that we use. And we can just pick that up. Sure. Yeah, just so it stops screaming at us. It's screaming at us for a lot of different reasons right now. We're going to have to switch all of the chests, the buffer chests over, as I mentioned. But for now, I think this opens up the door to put that there and then this here, which then gives us, frees up this space. We have turrets there, which is great. But then we have a little bit more space here. So is this all of the circuitry? Yes, it is, up to there. And then we have this space here. And what was the other thing? Roboports. So roboports take what exactly? They take gears in massive quantities, steel, and derp, and reds, of course. So is there anything else that we would like to put in here? Because now all of a sudden we have space. And that makes me think like, well, I mean, if we have space, then maybe we should put in like the programmable speaker. Well, that's requiring this stuff, but maybe we could just take this and put that there, right? Like put this here, and this becomes the substation. And that way all of these things have the iron sticks that they need. And then we could have a power switch. I think I might exclude the display panel. Well, maybe not. Maybe we don't need to exclude the display panel. And that way we just have all of the circuit things that we need, right? Is there anything else that we would really need to have here? Like this one's for belts and... oh, there's one above us. Wow. Okay. Anyways. This one's for belts and for inserters, and then we've got a couple of extra things here like radars, mining drills, and repair packs. We can take these out now. And then if we look up here, we have everything we need for concrete, nuclear plant, the rail pipes we have here, trains, tank we have, and we could even replace tank with flamethrower turret, which might make sense. I mean, we've got all our flamethrower turrets down for now, but we might expand later, so I think I'm just gonna leave that. But yeah, that pretty much does it for all of the important things up there. And I think this one's actually laid out pretty well. Like nothing changed in between Space Age and this that changes that one. It's really just the wire requirements for over here, but we still do have one space. So is there anything that we could or should build here? I guess we had solar panels. I don't really want to build solar right? Like, yeah, we don't need solar panels here. I think I'm just gonna leave this. Well, let's see what this, yeah, I'm just gonna leave this empty for now. This is copper, so we need copper down here. And then this is our storage container of turrets. And so, well, maybe. Yeah, well, we need engines. We couldn't just plug in flamethrower turrets here because we need engines. So that's a thing. But yeah, I think we've kind of got this laid out. So I'm just going to go through and make sure that all of the inserters and the containers are properly set up. Oh, lights. Lights was the thing that we were missing, actually, as I just realized. So given that, we actually need a space here with the wire for lights. So that's a little bit of a derper. And this is kind of looking like the best option, but I really don't want to move this all the way down there. Although we could. There's no reason why we couldn't, except for the fact that I'd like to keep the modules close to the module beacons and kind of together. So, I mean, we could move both of the modules down there, beacons themselves need copper cables as well. So, yeah, I mean, I think the short answer is just move this. Make this lights. Right? Because otherwise we could put lights here, but then we'd have to move this to somewhere over here, which then we could move. Yeah, and this is the only one that doesn't need wire. Like these two don't need wire. So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do, is we're just gonna move that module down to here. And yeah, that's really not ideal. Like we got one module there, one module there, one module there, but it doesn't really matter. And we're probably not, like we're not even really gonna be producing modules here that much, just for the very early game, and then we're gonna switch to actually producing modules in its own dedicated module area, and we'll have the level 2 modules for that. So then we'll kind of disable the module building in here. But for the very, very early game here, well, I guess it's not the early game anymore, but for the beginning mid game, we want to have modules set up. So let us set up some more of this. Just as a side note, one of the things I am doing here is, of course, setting up the box itself with the filter for the constant combinators and the constant combinators, well, decider combinators. Decider combinators less than 0, but then I'm putting a condition on here saying that only when decider combinators are greater than -5, and I do this in a few spots, so you've probably seen that if you watched the this one. I'm doing the same thing here, so splitters less than 0, but then here only when splitters are greater than -5 will we actually put them into the next thing. So it's very similar here, that only when we're almost at the amount of decider combinators that we want in the chest, when we're within 5 of that amount, because when we're satiated, it's 0, right? Because if we said we want 50 up here, and then it becomes -50, and then you're adding -50 to the 50 that's in the box, then that's 0, meaning there's no request. The request is satisfied, right? So what this is saying is if we're close to satisfied, if we're 5 away or closer to satisfied, then we will put that into here and actually build the next product out of it. So I do that fairly consistently. Like this is the same over here. So only when we're full on the blues will we actually go and make the yellows. And yeah, just a note on how that works. Okay, I think I've pretty much fixed up everything on this side, so that's cool. It's a little bit of work, but it's worth it, because now it's all good to go. And we have, yeah, I'm kind of happy that we have all of the circuitry parts, because the odd time when you need it, when you want a programmable speaker or whatever, it's just nice just to have it prepared, right? So that's that. I think we're doing something similar here where, yeah, we fill up the box of these first. This one is just kind of dedicated to that. But now I'm going to just quickly go through here and switch all of these over to storage chests. Okay, that does it for those. I was thinking about this, like, really don't need to be storing or making these, the steam engines and the boilers at this point of the game. Like, We're definitely well past that, but still, for completion's sake, I think we'll put it there. And then I will just turn the supply basically to 0 for those. So that'll be one of the last steps here. Just going to do the final switch of all these chests, and then we'll see you on the other side of that. Great. Okay, that's all of the chests switched over, and where I couldn't switch it, set the filter, I just put a passive provider chest so that the bots won't go and put stuff in there. And then, yeah, we will eventually put them as buffer chests so they can actually request in the items rather than just kind of passively trying to store them. But I'm going to call this now basic logistics. Actually, we already have that. Let's call it basic hub. Let's just call it hub order. Sure, hub order. And then it would be nice if we could just like copy and paste these over, right? But I don't think we can. So what I'll do is I'll just make it bigger, and then we could just kind of go through here and see like what exactly do we want out of everything, and kind of switch back and forth here a little bit, and maybe try to put them together in some way. So first of all, let's reorder this a little bit. Okay, then power poles and smelters and constructors. I already got those, and then we'll get roboports in here near the radars, which kind of makes sense. Roboports, I think we want 50. We probably want more later, but we'll just stick with 50 for now. Get our power poles in here. Again, I think we want more than 50 later, but let's just get them in there for now. Definitely want substations. We definitely want lights because we're not savages. And that we'll just kind of mark them off as we go. And chests, constructors, and furnaces. So furnaces, this one, I think we actually want 0. And same with this one, I think we actually also want 0. And this one, I think we can, let's just request it. Let's just get 25 of those. And let's start our chests also. Just down below here. Of course, we can't really get most of these just yet, but we'll still be able to build 50 of the passive providers and the storage chests. Oh, and also importantly is the, I think I'm just going to put that at the start too, the steel chests. Steel chests there. Okay, and then we can check those off. We've got all of those. We've got those. And then we just want the assembling machines. Yeah, and you know what? This, I think we could say like 96 of these. At least 48. That's like one smelting column. Because we may still build a smelting column later. But we've already got them built. So they should get transported over here as soon as I pick up the other base. Okay, so these manufacturing facilities here, we definitely want 100 of those, and we definitely want 100 of these. So that's great. So that's everything on this one. Let's just pick that up. There we go. Okay, and then we need everything to do with oil production here. So we'll just start a new one here. And these, we could probably have 25 of those. Sure, well, doesn't really matter. And then the actual oil refineries, another 25. Chemical plants, we should probably have at least 50. And centrifuges, we could also put in this pile and say, give us 25. The actual nuclear plants, I'd say give us 4, give us 8, because the next one we want to build is going to be 8. Now, how many of these do we need for an 8 facility? I don't really know, so I'm just going to take a guess here and put these amounts of 96, which I do have a blueprint for that, so maybe I will check that later. I will put this down on its own row here, because nuclear should be in its own row. And that means we have these. We have boilers. We've got this, this, and this. We also need train stuff. So let's get tracks. That probably should be up more, but whatever. We'll leave it here. We want at least 500 of those. Stations. Stations. We probably only need 10. And I'd just like to have these first. So another 50 and 50 of these. And then our trains, like 10 trains seems reasonable. And then 40 cargo wagons and 20. I mean, we don't really need a lot of fluid wagons, but yeah, let's say 25. And what the heck, let's go 50. And there we go. I think we could also put tanks here. When we do finally get them, then we'll have one tank. So we would like to have the fluid tank itself here, and we could probably just have 25. I don't think we need tons of those. And that's that. Then we want to put in a signal here just to remember our good old friends, the boiler and the steam engine. I'm gonna put that way up here just because basic stuff. Don't really need it, but yeah, then we have all of this taken care of. We're not actually building labs. Electric furnaces, we already have that in there as well. That's one thing that would be kind of nice to have in the hub is science labs. So I'm just going to put that over here and put it as 0, just as a memoir, so we remember it. And then here we have our concrete and our turrets. So let's see, how much concrete do we want? Probably, I don't know, 200 for this and 50 for this. Just some basic numbers. We're actually going to have a different setup for concrete at some point here, but just to plug that in, which will get these out. And then we don't need the wires anymore because that's not a thing. We already have that. I'm not even going to put in solar panels. Well, we could. Like, one thing I think would be kind of cool this time around maybe is to connect this green wire system to the actual big green wire system. And that way this can be like the green wires that are on the entire base. And then that way this one order situation here, like this one constant combinator, can actually control the entire base worth of supplies. So on the other side of the base later, when we're building solar panels, we can control how many we want to store here in this constant combinator. So I think I will actually do that. So we'll just put in some basic numbers there for now. Take those out. We've already got tanks. We want gun turrets and flamethrower turrets somewhere in here. Let's just put them right here. So gun turrets, probably 50 is good. Flame turrets, 20 is good. We're actually not even building those, as I mentioned, but again, this is going to be like a universal order taker that we put everywhere. So now we need circuits and modules. So let's plug those ones in right now. And where are we with beacons? Beacons, I'd say 25 is a good start. Same thing with these actual modules. We don't want to overproduce them because we're just going to convert them all later. But for now, we'll put these orders in there. And that should basically do it, except for, of course, the circuitry. So let's get that stuff in here. Basically, we just want 50 of each, because why not? And that will allow us to send them up into space later as well. And we can go one row down, I think, for this. 25. Don't think we really need more than maybe like 5 of those ones. But that does it. That is all of our order there. So now we can move this over, and we can even move it up one and take this and just turn that way. Actually, I kind of would like it to be over to the side just in this case because of the way that this is oriented. So there we go. That is it. So now we have our working hub, except, well, it needs to work. So we just need to connect it at this point. We've got those constant combinators that are telling us where the stuff is. So yeah, at this point we're basically ready to advance the bus up one more block. And also, we don't actually need to, what am I trying to say? We don't need to get water from here anymore, because we can just do this. And then this, and then we will have water right here. So that's one thing that we can just take that out. And I can tell our bots to fill that up. And yeah, we'll just take all of this out. And yes, we are almost at the point where we need to take out the spaceship. So if you have a love for the broken spaceship, well, fear not. There is an afterlife for broken spaceships. All broken spaceships go to heaven. It's a thing. Okay, and so I have too much stuff. Stone. How are we going to deal with the stone? We're going to take a little detour here and make some recycling bins. Nice, our plastic filled up nicely, so that's great. I think if I just go grab a bit of copper, I can make these darn things that are yelling at me here. Yeah, let's get 20 of those. I was kind of rethinking the coal situation earlier, and I was like, I really want to get coal. This one I plugged in here. This is going to be sulfuric acid. I'm gonna just leave it like that for now, because yeah, later we're gonna take sulfuric acid out here. That'll be easy just to pipe that in, get it across, kind of set that up here. And we also have space here for a train station. I think it was like, oh, this would actually be really cool. But I think it was like this. There we go. That also is really cool. So, I mean, we could just plug that in right now. Is this the one that's signaled? I made another one that's not signaled, which I need to signal just to flip it. Flip it good. But yeah, this is gonna work really nicely in there. So, or is it? Because actually there's not gonna be room to load if we do that. So who knows? Maybe we will do this. This would be pretty cool actually. We'd have to take it across and it might get in the way. We'll see. That's not a huge priority right now, but anyways, I guess the point I was trying to say is that I'd like to maybe have these be separate belts instead of half and half. But not a big concern right now. I think for now we can just leave it as is and get our recycling bins over here. So first of all, let's dump these, and that way they'll go and get fixed up. But yeah, so we're gonna need this. We're gonna need a recycling bin. It's not really gonna do much until we start actually consuming either of these, but well, we could put it on maybe this side. I mean, we could actually put it here, right? So this is just gonna be for stone, and then that way we can do this, and then we can just say input priority on that side. Bada bing, bada boom, we're stoned. Right? And then later we can make that a buffer chest or a requester chest even, where we just request in all the stones so that we actually smelt this stone first rather than taking from the trains. But yeah, for now that's good. The other thing is coal. We already have coal, so we set that up the other day. A little bit funky here with this. I don't really like how this one is set up. Yeah, I've kind of decided on a different design for that, but we'll leave that for now. I think the other one was coal, and we should probably, no, copper, and then we should probably do some for iron ore at the same time. If we got this coming off both sides, I think we could just pretty easily stick this in here and do this kind of a thing as well. I like this setup because of the input priority. And then just dump that out and filter this as iron ore. Yeah, and then that will actually work just fine. Just need a little bit of power and of course a light. And then similarly for copper, which is way over here. So we'll get that plugged in, and that way we can safely start to pick up anything that we want and not worry about where it's gonna land. Right, there we go. And this has copper ore, and this has an input priority. There we go. So now once we start, and I can drop this copper as well. We could do the same thing for steel, plastic, and copper plates and everything, which we will at some point. Similar, like I've got way too many gears on me. Really, my character's pockets are just too small. Am I right? Like, yeah. But either way, those are the main ones that I want to get recycling going right away. And then we can safely pick up this stone station here. Look at all these unrequested things. If I just shove that, go put all of that in storage containers, please. Okay, and then that way we can safely just pick up all of this crap, and it will get plunked down. It'll get put over here. It will eventually all land over there. So yeah, see, they're already moving with it. Okay, so let's get this bus party started. Get that right to there. Oops. Yeah, there, and go through there. Through there. And boom. Okay, that's great. And then similarly, I think just getting this up, try to be a little bit conservative with our belts, because how many belts is that? A lot. All the construction bots are doing construction things. They're actually, okay, it's logistics bots that are pulling stuff out of my inventory, so that's good. Ooh, I actually want the flamethrower ammo too. Don't take all my flamethrower ammo, please. And my rockets? Oh, they actually have rockets in there, so maybe I should put 200 rockets. And just take those out. Take that out of there. So yeah, certain things like plastic, gears, circuits, we'll have to find a place to recycle them. Like plastic we could put on the belt as well right away, basically, but that's pretty much it. At this point, we just need to connect this stuff, which, yeah, I could do a little speed montage of. Okay, all right. So that is it for finally. Yeah, that is amazing. Would you look at this glorious base take shape before your eyes? Am I right? Like, oh yeah, now we have the path clear, the sacred path, but we have all of our production happening here. So this is going to take a little while for it to all fill up all the boxes full of the stuff that we need. But at this point, like, we can unplug this side. I'm not going to just yet. In fact, we could probably do some more research. What the heck, let's hit rocket silos. Just to start consuming some of this stuff. Like, we don't have any more water going there. Stone is also cut off. But yeah, we're gonna have to take these two and make a train station out of them as well, because I really would actually like to clear these ores out. I'd really like to clear this one out so I can keep the train track going up. But either way, the point is we got our goal complete here, which was to build this amazing hub that's going to serve us all of the goods that we need to continue to build the factory larger. And look at all those beautiful full belts of stuff. Belts full of stuff, right? And all of this just working away, keeping those belts full. And plastic, we've got some petroleum stored up. We've got everything that we could possibly need. It's a beautiful thing, and super excited to have this one done. This is now officially the beginning of this bus base. Look at it. It's there. It is in its full glory. The next steps are going to be science. We're going to have to pull this out, which will be an interesting project in and of itself. But yeah, pulling this out and then getting science and then getting low density structures and all of the goods that we need to get to space. So look out for the next one. We'll see you on the other side of tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Okay, bye.